Thank you, Catherine. And maybe we'll have the PowerPoint slide. Thank you.
Speaks of God's love, soil, water, mountains. Everything, as it were, is a caress of God. But we need only take a frank look at the facts to see that our common home is falling into serious disrepair. The earth herself, burdened and laid waste, is among the most abandoned and maltreated of our poor. These words come from Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si. Today, we are being invited to think more profoundly about the question of God's creation. Six years ago, in May 2015, Pope Francis issued an encyclical titled Laudato Si. In it, he made us all aware that we are one human family, brothers and sisters, together united. But we are also family united with all of creation. We are one with Mother Earth, and we have a responsibility to care for one another and to care for our Earth. As a promise for all future generations. Yes, for all our young people and all children to come. As we know, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected our entire world. We are going through a crisis like we have never had before. As a result of the crisis, we are now called to act for a better world. In fact, this is the essence of Laudato Si, care of our common home. Months ago, we saw the launch of the Laudato Si 7-year action plan. It looks at responding to the needs of the earth and the poor. Today, we open the door on our launch of Laudato Si 7-year action plan. We invite each one of you throughout the Irish province and in our school communities to journey with us this morning via words, images, song, as we explore together the living out of Laudato Si.
So greetings once again to all who are connected with us this morning. I would like to begin by introducing you to some of the members of our JPIC committee. Catherine, who is looking after our technology, thankfully. Sister Bernie Foley, some of you might know. Dara Deaver, new to the committee, and Emily Banville. So thank you to all of you for being with us this morning. Some months ago, one of our sisters in the province of Eastern Africa wrote a hymn entitled, "We Praise You, Creator God." Sister Mary Santrina composed the hymn. So I now invite you to join with us and with the third year music class from St. Michael's Navan and their teacher, Miss McGuire, in the singing of this hymn. I sent it out as an attachment a while ago. I'm sure most of you have forgotten about it, but you might pick up the chorus of it. So we listen to that now. Do keep in mind that actually this is their first time to sing as a group since the pandemic. So they haven't come together as a choir, like most schools, since March 2020. So we will listen to "We Praise You, Creator God." Thank you, Catherine.
Little problem, just give me a second.
So thank you once again to the third year music class in St. Michael's and of course their teacher, Miss McGuire. Hopefully other schools might take up that hymn and might like to learn it. I would now like to invite Dara to say a few words, please.
Hi everyone. I was delighted to take part in the judging of the environmental competitions last year. The standard of entry was exceptionally high and the variety of the work taking place was very impressive. We had projects looking at fast fashion and looking at litter, enhancing biodiversity in schools, in the community. So I would see this action plan as a great opportunity to celebrate the work that's already taken place and to build on it. So I'm really excited to see what will happen over the next 7 years. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dara. And as Dara said, we know that care of the earth, the environment, it's already happening all around us, and we have all been doing our own little bit, as we say. But I suppose this last year or two has given us more to ponder on. And on that note, I'd like to invite Sister Carmel Swords, our provincial leader, to officially launch the 7-year action plan, the handbook for Ireland. So thank you, Sister Carmel. Carmel, can you unmute yourself?
Me.
Thank you.
I was on mute, Fionnuala.
Sorry.
Can you sort the video now?
I was trying to make a post to record, put on hold.
I'll begin again.
Sorry.
Céad Míle Fáilte, and it is a pleasure to join with you this morning to launch the Loreto Irish Province Laudato Si 7-year plan. The hymn reminded us that God's tender love and presence is reflected in creation, something which many of us have discovered anew during lockdown. In the past few years, we have come to realise that the climate crisis will not be averted simply by the actions of government and by new technologies, nor will it be averted by the actions of activists and individuals, important though these things are. Rather, the climate crisis will be averted when our hearts are melted and moved to make small changes in our own lives. We need God's tender love to help us truly respect and appreciate our natural world. When our hearts are open, we realise that creation is full of mystery, of majesty, and we cannot but stand in awe. We will become agents for change, and bit by bit, the climate and ecological crisis will be averted, and we will grow in deeper appreciation of each other. As a result, over the years, creation will be restored, and an integral ecology will be a natural, easeful part of our lives. As you know already, this year is a very significant one for Loreto Sisters worldwide, as we mark 200 years since Treasaball opened the first school for girls. To celebrate and give thanks, we the sisters are engaged in a very exciting environmental project with our sisters in Peru in a place called Jicamarca. In aspiring to make some of the Laudato Si goals a reality, we are proud and grateful to partner a project called Ireland Blossoms in Peru. The parents of the children who are in the school and the people who live in Jicamarca have their roots in the mountains and central areas where they lived by cultivating their crops and rearing their animals. However, circumstances forced them to move to shanty towns where they experienced a sharp loss of identity. The connection with the natural world runs deep in the children as well as their parents, and this love and reverence for the earth is given expression in the project. The students, teachers, parents, and community will be active protagonists in the goals of the 2030 Agenda and Laudato Si, care of our common home. The project involves, for example, producing biogardens, building and stocking a mini school farm with small animals, cultivating vegetables, preserving endangered Peruvian plants, encouraging the breathing of earthworms for efficient vegetable production, cultivating different varieties of potatoes, producing a medicinal and herb garden and a butterfly and hummingbird habitat. In all, 1,040 students, 600 families, 55 staff, and many local women will be directly involved. In this way, children are planting their own garden, the local economy is promoted, as well as a simple lifestyle, with considerable community involvement and participation. And in doing so, hearts will be melted and God's tender love will become a lived reality in Jicamarca. As we set forth on this 7-year journey, we ask the Lord to help us encourage and support each other to be custodians of nature and active participants in protecting and cherishing our world.
Thank you, Sister Carmel, for those inspiring and encouraging words. You have given us plenty to think about. And I think it's great to see that we have partnered with our province in Peru. And perhaps some of the schools might be encouraged to make contact with them as well as our own sisters. Apologies, Carmel. Once again, technology has failed me and was not able to put on your video. I managed with everybody else, but there had to be one, so apologies for that, Carmel. We will now watch a short video, very short video, on the actual handbook that has been distributed to our province and to our schools. Thank you, Catherine. So thank you to each one of you for joining us this morning. And as we've already said, we know that you are already living out and putting into action what is in the document. Nevertheless, I do hope our launch today encourages you to take another step. Don't let this handbook just be that, just words. I guess further action is possible by each one of us. So once again, thank you for joining us today. And we'll just leave you with a quote once again from Pope Francis. Thank you, one and all. Oh, my apologies, sorry. I have actually overlooked one very important aspect, and we're going to join with Emily in a prayer. So I have actually fast forwarded a prayer that was composed by Sister Mary Elizabeth Kirk, who is now in our province in Peru. And she composed this prayer for the launch of Laudato Si. And you may like to join in with us for the prayer. And Emily will recite it. Thank you.
Creator God, this beautiful world that you have birthed and given to us is too dear to us to let us be indifferent to its plight today. Our hearts are sore from hearing the stories of the daily loss and destruction of our brothers and sisters of every species, of the soil so rich and mothering, of the air so sweet in the mountains, of our sister water bringing joy and health. We cannot look away any longer as if it has nothing to do with us. We are called on by Pope Francis in his letters, by the United Nations in Agenda 2030, by scientists and creative people of every race and creed and colour to join them as a global family, to write a new story for our world. A story of rebirth, of creativity and awareness, of kindness and friendship, and resolute solidarity. Our best hope is in you, our God, who are communion, encounter, and love. And with your help today, we commit ourselves to action, the very best we can undertake, however small, but measurable, so that we, as Mary Ward family, may be a part of that new and wonderful story of our beloved world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Emily. So rather than repeat myself, I just want to express gratitude to each of you for joining with us as a Mary Ward family this morning. And as I said before, I guess maybe further action, one little step further, one more step is possible by each one of us. Perhaps we will link in again sometime in the future. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine.